Hi guys, what's up? So let me just show you guys some really cool pencils that I use, and this is great for drawing or anything like that. And these are great. These are the Staedtler pencils. I'm just going to show you a couple of different kind of pencils that are good for art. And some of them are really good and some of them are not so good. I'm going to tell you what the good parts and the bad parts are of them. So check this out. So one of the things I do like using, I only like using a couple of different kind of pencils, and I've tried different ones, and I find like these are like one of the best quality ones you can get. So these are the Staedtler art pencils, and these are pretty cool. There are 19 of them, and it says design and drafting or anything. I don't use them for drafting, but these are great for drawing. They're really good, and what happens is with these is you get like a good like set of these. These are not expensive. These are actually really good price, really cheap for the quality you get, because then you got these other pencils. These are the Faber-Castell, which are also really good. I find them a little bit better, but these are much more expensive. But these are really good also, and they're good in a different way. They have this like thick line that they make, and it's really a good thick saturated line that these create, and those don't do as much. I like them also, but I think these are also really good. I would recommend actually buying both of them and just trying out the two kinds, because I tried the other pencils, but I don't think they're that great. My favorites are these and the Faber-Castell, but let me just show the Staedtler. So this is the tin it comes in, right? It's a metal tin, and then it comes in all the different grades, right? All the different grades from HB to 4B and everything like that. So these have all the different grades, and the difference is, like, I'll just show you, and these actually are really cool. Let me just show you something. Some of the darker ones are the 8B, and the lighter ones are like the B, the 2B, and then the H's, which is the lighter ones. As you can see, this is the 8B, and I want to show you that. That's a really big, like, graphite tip. And this is different than some of the other ones, like the 4B, which has a smaller tip. I'll show you the two of them together. Okay. So this is the 8B on this with the thicker tip, and this is the 4B with a thinner tip. And the 8B is a lot darker, and it also comes in, you could also get like the B, the 2B, the F. This is the 2B, and it's got a much lighter, see, it's a much thinner tip. This looks like a regular pencil, where when you look at the 8B, that does not look like a regular pencil. That looks like a crayon or something, you know? So these are really cool. They're blue with a black tip. There's no eraser on the back. I don't know why art pencils don't have erasers on the back, but I mean, I remember like school pencils, the number 2s they used to give us in school, the yellow pencils, and they always had an eraser on the back. In art pencils, you use the pencil so you can erase. Otherwise, why even use a pencil? You can use a pen or an ink thing or a liner or even paint. You use a pencil so you can erase. No eraser on the back. You can get the eraser separately, but it's just like so much easier to like write, and then oops, I want to erase something. I erase something and just like flip it over and erase. For some reason, they don't have an eraser on the back. Because those school pencils were like the yellow number 2 pencils, and they had the eraser on the back, and they were really cheap. They were like 10 cents a pencil or something like that. It proves that it's really cheap to make an eraser and put it on the back of the pencil. Don't know why I think that anybody, like, you know, the first company that has an eraser on the back of their art pencil is gonna make bank, because everybody needs that and no one has it. But mechanical pencils do have a little bit of an eraser. Some of them have that. So, you know, but it's not like, I'm not gonna say it's not a big deal, but you have to carry a separate eraser with you. And it's just an extra thing to carry in your art bag. But who the hell, why not? Why do pencils in school that you don't draw with have an eraser? Pencils that you do draw with do not have an eraser. They should have an eraser. Okay, so anyway, I love these Staedtler. I like how they look. I like the tin and everything. I'm gonna show you, I use this one so it's a little bit like shaved down. But this is the, what do you call it? The Faber-Castell is upside down. Faber-Castell, this is the 900,000 series or 9,000 series or whatever. It's the, yes, the 9,000 series. Now these are there's two kinds of Faber-Castell. There's the 9000 series, which is the green one, which are more expensive. And then there's the blue and silver one, which is less expensive. It's not the 9000 series. Those are also really, really good. If you really want to know, I really think that the Faber-Castell 9000 series are the best pencils to buy, because it's just like the line is better, the graphite I think is higher quality. It is pricier, but it's not like, it's not like that much more expensive, because pencils do last a long time. You know, so you can actually, you know, buy a few of these and they'll still last you a while. It depends how much pencil you use. As opposed to, like, the thing about the Staedtler is, what's interesting about the Faber-Castell is at the art store, you can buy these separately. The 9000 series, you can buy separately, the different pencils. It is cheaper to buy them in a set, but then, you know, the thing about the set is that they come in all the different grades, okay? And there's a bunch of different pencils. So if you like using, if you know the grade you're gonna use, it's better to buy just a bunch of the individual pencils. So my suggestion is, honestly, because the Staedtler and the Faber-Castell are so, like, close to each other, you might actually like these better, or you might like the different Faber-Castell better. I would say I think these are worth trying. I also think these are different enough from the Faber-Castell that they're gonna give you a little bit of a different drawing, a different kind of effect on your drawing than the Faber-Castell. So I think, like, if you really wanna, you know, use a lot of different effects and things in your drawing, you're gonna definitely notice a little bit difference in your pencil drawings when you use the Staedtler than when you use the Faber-Castell. You know, so what else about this? So yeah. So that's actually pretty cool. I do like that it comes in the whole thing. So about the fact that it comes in a whole set, I would recommend, if you guys draw, to get one of these sets. You can get these. These are really not expensive, and you can just get a whole set. Now, what's cool about this set is it's got every grade. So you're probably not going to use every grade, but you might need to use the darker or the lighter grades every now and then. So it's good to have every grade, and just so that you know the ones you actually end up using, and then just when you use up the ones you actually want to use, you could just buy more of buy different pencils just specifically with the grade. So it's good to have every grade, because just there's darker ones and lighter ones, and when you're making a painting or an underdrawing on a painting, you want to use the lighter pencils. You don't want to use the darker pencils. The darker pencils are just for graphite painting or graphite drawing, but you might want to have a darker pencil if you want to play around with darker colored lines and darker areas and stuff like that. You know, so that's also good. Also, if you don't want to spend a lot of money on pencils, the best price is get the Faber-Castell, not the 9000 series, but the regular one, which is the blue and gray pencil. It's got like a blue and gray stripe on the pencil. Or the Staedtler, really good quality too. So there's also, like, I'm gonna show you some other ones. These are really interesting, and these are falling apart. These are the Derwent pastel pencils. If you guys ever draw in pastel, if you want to color your paintings, you want to color your drawings, you want to make colorful pencil drawings, you want to use color pencils, you can get color pencils, or you can get color pastel pencils. What I like about pastel pencils over pastels is pastel sticks are like, they're just sticks. They're hard to get details onto your paper, and it also goes right on your fingers and stuff. And when you use a pastel pencil, it doesn't do that as much. It doesn't, like, you can make a pastel drawing with like pastel with a pastel pigment, but you don't have to use pastels. You don't get your fingers all pasteled up, and you don't have to you know, you can just, like, and this is better for accuracy because you can get real good details. Some of the paintings here were pastel, you know. I don't remember if I did these in the sticks or if I did these in the pencil, but I think I did both of them, but this is much, I much prefer, if you use pastel, I really do recommend that you use pastel pencils over the sticks. I bought a bunch of pastel sticks, I don't use them, but I do like the pastel pencils more. Problem with the pastel pencils is you can see like they're huge, they're big, and it's impossible, and this is the Derwent, the one I'm showing you here, the Derwent pastel, and it's impossible to get to actually sharpen these to a point. It's really, really hard to sharpen these to a point. And let me just show you, I don't even have the lid or the cover, but okay. It's hard to sharpen these to a point. And as you can see, like the best you can do with a pencil sharpener, I mean, I'm sure you could do this maybe if you know how to sharpen it really carefully, is to sharpen these to a point, but I'm not able to do that. I can just I kind of like sharpen it to here and I leave it because I know if I sharpen it anymore, the tip is just gonna break off. The other thing I wanna show you about is the colors. Yeah, it's not like a lot of colors. I wish it was more, but it's a small tin. It's a small tin with only 12 pencils or something like that. I don't know, like around 12 pencils. And you just get a few of these. If you really wanna, I would say like get the small tin and see if you like these, if you like working with them. Also, but the thing is that when you do use pastel pencils, it's a good idea to make sure your paper is either multimedia paper or your paper is good with pastels. So like, you know, so basically here, I'll show you the different ones. And also it's just these red pencils, and it's got like, you know, yellow, green, blue, green, orange, red, you know, it's not really a huge selection. But honestly, if you really want to color your drawings with pastels, use pastel pencils. If you want to color your if you just want to make like just colorful drawings with pencils, then use color pencils. Don't even use these. They're hard to combine. They're only good with like if you're doing a pastel drawing and then you want to come in there with some detail, then use a pastel pencil to do that. But if you're using multimedia and you just want some of the effects of these, that's also good. But to make a real drawing, make a real painting, because of the lack of accuracy, because you can't really sharpen these that much, and because of the way they go onto pencils and stuff like that, I would avoid, like, you know, pastel pencils altogether. You know, if you really want to make a colorful drawing, I would recommend just get color pencils. And not the you could play with the watercolor pencils a little bit, but not as much the watercolor pencils as, you know, regular color pencils. Instead, I would not buy more of these. You know, I'm not really gonna buy more pastel pencils. And I don't really like pastel either because it just gets on your finger and it's really hard to draw it with it. You know, even though, you know, the colors come out nice and stuff, I just find it's hard to work with, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, so back to regular graphite pencils. Check out if you've already, you know, check out if you haven't tried these before, go to the art shop and check out the Staedtler or the Faber-Castell.